got a horny one for you this week.
That's right. It's a crossover episode with the hosts of Good Children Podcast. We're here with Joe and Andrew, and we have a lot of chat. We learn about what Long Island is,
Where it is,
how it is,
and apple picking. We also talk about getting your dick in some disposable undies and what it's like being a very popular high schooler.
That's right. And to all you theater kids who never did theater, this one's for you.
Yeah, faggots.
Mom.
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom, you end up with a sloppy seconds. Oh, diva.
hit it.
Our number is 213-536-9180. Or email us sloppysecondspot@gmail.com. Now on with the show. How you slept, you stupid little you not so you dirty little Welcome to Sloppy Seconds, Big Dipper, Meatball, and that's Big Dipper.
Hello, and welcome back to Sloppy Seconds Takes
New York! Concrete jungle where dreams are made up. We are in Brooklyn, though.
And we are in Brooklyn, but I think it's easier to just say New York. We'll get some clarity on this when we bring our guests on, because I think sometimes it's just an all-encompassing phrase.
New York.
New
But
York.
sometimes people are like, no, I'm from Brooklyn.
Or I'm from Staten Island.
Or I am from New Jersey.
Or I'm from Long Island. You know what I mean? Listen,
Yeah,
I want to comment, because this is our last episode in this beautiful room.
God, we're going to miss these pink beige walls.
But do you see how they've changed over time as the sun has changed throughout the day?
I can't see anything.
Okay. This is exciting. Why don't you bring our fun guests on?
All right. It's the crossover episode you didn't know you needed. Please welcome Joey Hedges. It's just
I
Joe.
love Joey. Joey's
love that.
See, but I saw the Y in your last name and it really threw
trips
me.
people up
Okay, now let me
sometimes.
get your last name, Andy Muscarella.
Yeah.
Like mozzarella.
I've never heard that one before.
They're the hosts of Good Children Podcast.
Welcome.
Welcome,
happy to be
welcome,
here.
Good Children.
It's an honor to be here.
It is,
Thank you.
honestly.
It's
In
an
this
honor to have
cavernous
you
room.
here.
It's
Oh,
huge.
This warehouse.
it's a tap dance studio.
Should
Is
we?
it? Oh
Yeah.
my god,
After.
of course.
After we'll do a little
Well, yeah, I
tap.
know you guys have some moves. I've seen the videos of your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we do. We're
So,
not trying to brag.
did you, when you took tap class, did you have like, I took tap class once. Oh, you did?
We've never
No.
taken.
You
No.
didn't take any class.
But I feel like we're
It was all
self-taught.
self-taught.
Now we know that you took tap class.
I was
so
gonna
please.
immediately lie though. If you didn't say that, I'd be like, well, honestly, like there was a learning curve.
Well, I know
Andrew
that
was
you
better.
you document so much of your life, so
We
I
do.
just figured, Meatball, if you've got even a hint of a mustache, she's doing a deep dive on everything
Oh,
I've ever
for
posted.
sure.
Okay, so we're here in New York. You both are very New York.
Very
Thank
New York.
you.
What are like quintessential Long Island, either things in the world or like things about your personalities?
Oh,
jeez.
well, I mean, besides the accent.
The accent.
Right. It's like talk, walk, meatball.
Meatball.
I love it.
Meatball is a
Yeah.
big one for sure.
Do
I
Big
think-
Dipper. Big Dipper.
Big Dipper.
Big Dipper.
See,
That's
but
probably what you would.
It's
They
the
are.
different vowels. Yours just plays better.
It's the
Ah,
ball.
that's true.
Meatball. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the AWL in that.
Yeah. I would
You know.
say there is like a sickness to I feel like most Long Islanders that like especially like Long Island gay men, you can
Yes.
really
Yeah.
you can pick them out of a crowd so easily. Like there's something we've always said it's in the like genuinely I believe there's something in the water that softens the features. And if you look at a Long Islander, you're like, there is something about you. And it's the eyebrows.
It's
usually.
the eyebrows and a fade. You're like,
Yeah.
I clocked you from a mile away.
Yeah. Speaking
Long
of
Island.
eyebrows, no, they're not.
Wait, what's happening?
Joe just like keeps saying that my eyebrow, like he thinks I'm bleaching my eyebrows.
They're getting
because
lighter and
blonde.
Because they're
lighter
getting
every
lighter.
day. Don't you see that?
It's just like the way
No.
that the sun hits.
Well,
I think
when I
maybe
grow up
it's
my
our skylight hitting
no,
you
it
in
was
a
not
weird-
this room. I saw it earlier.
even when I
Oh,
grow out
no.
my beard, it gets like a little orangey.
It's blonde to
Okay.
me.
Oh, are you a little ginge?
I get a little ginge.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the
Anywhere in the
Irish.
body
it's the
hair?
I'm a little Irish.
Okay, same.
No, my body hair is all like brown, but
Huh.
except my
Hmm.
face.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm lying.
Have you ever had your eyebrows done, either of you?
Yeah.
Um,
There's a picture of Andrew.
Stop.
What made you do your eyebrows?
Long Island?
Long Island. Literally, like all of the men in my class were getting their eyebrows done. This was like senior year. And I was like, I had really big, bushy eyebrows.
But
so I
this
was like,
was-
There were men in
this
your
went
class
on
in
until-
senior-
oh, it went on. It continued because then
Until
I
your
got
early to
used to the
mid-20s.
threading happening. I'm like sobbing in the chair, but I was like, I look so good. It changed my face shape.
Wait, and then there was the
What were they
homophobia.
doing? Because I think you have great looking eyebrows. Were they thinning them?
They were thinning them, but I would say, please make them look natural. But I don't know if they actually did that. You know what I mean?
But
I
so
know.
then your eyebrow threader said I can no longer do your eyebrows.
She did say that to me. She said I can no longer perform on men. So
Wait.
I'm waiting for my pedicurist to say that. 'Cause
Yeah,
last
well-
time I was in there, she had scrapes of my skin in her hair. And she
You're
didn't seem
kidding.
happy about it. She
You're
pulled out
kidding.
a Dremel. She pulled out a Dremel to do it.
That's
and it
what's
was
happening in
Flying.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, someone's getting their toes done.
Yeah, literally.
It was flying.
You're
It got
Wait,
in her
did she
hair.
give a reason?
It was religious reasons.
Oh, okay.
But she literally was like, I won't, this is your last time. As she's like threading, I'm like,
And
"Do
I
you
think I
want
was
me to
waiting
leave?"
in the car.
You were for sure.
I was there for some reason, just
Why
sitting
you-
in the
just-
car.
Joe doesn't
You
drive,
didn't even
so
want to
like-
go inside. Yeah,
No,
Well,
you would get
look
better
what
than-
happened. You know,
For religion. So she was just like, I hate.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what was
Wow.
happening here. Yeah.
Whoa.
So it kind of ended after that for me in a lot of ways, but yeah. I was like, okay.
I've only had my eyebrows done once, and I got them done by this guy who I'm trying to give you context for him. The guy who I'd go in the back of the house and I'd him.
Yeah, that guy.
dead.
So
Oh, I didn't know that was like a double duty. Like you would get your brows done and then you would throw
Was
your
it at
fist
the
on
same
him.
time?
no.
Okay.
I would go
wouldn't
see
trust
him
him.
from time to time, and then I forget what happened because usually it would just be ass in the air. I would never even see his face, which is how he liked it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there was some time when he turned around, or maybe he went to get me a bottle of water. Just gauging your reaction. Talking to the mic.
I was trying to see how you feel about this story.
So anyhow, we did end up sort of interacting face to face, and then he like, I would park behind him in his driveway, and his license plate says, "Now I'm gonna give it away. He had a vanity license plate, so all you freaks in LA know about the guy because he would get around. It was like I do brows or something like that, or I heart brows or something
love
like that,
that.
right? And so I think I asked him, I was like, so what's with the license plate? And he was like, oh, like, I'm like, that's what I do for a living. I'm professional. I was like, oh. And then he like immediately got up in my face and he started looking and he was like, you should come by one time. And I was like, okay. But I was really nervous because I was like, I want you to do it naturally. Like, I don't want them to be. And so I went by where he works, and he worked in this like amazing salon, and he had an entire eyebrow suite in the back with like his name over it, like in very high demand, and like the skill and precision with which he worked, and the amount of tools he had on his table for eyebrow like work was wild. It was out of
I mean,
control.
no wonder
that's
the
why-
license
Wow.
plate.
And he
I do
did the
brows.
brows.
I do brows.
I
Yeah.
do brows.
I
All
think
right.
I do
think
brows
people's
and I
brows
do
paid
fisting.
for the car
Yeah.
and the house.
Mid fist
Wow.
and then
Yeah.
a little eyebrows. Love that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I've only ever done my eyebrows one time, and it was in Traverse City, Michigan, and it was part of a haircut from a woman.
Part of?
She was washing my hair after she had just cut it,
Yeah.
and she went, your eyebrows are a little close together. I can do that for you. And I went, yeah, okay, just like as long as they don't look too far apart. Because in
Yeah.
my mind, my eyebrows are already kind of far apart. Bitch, when I tell you it was like almost the center of my pupil where
No.
she
Yeah,
started
no.
them. I had to, like, I was in high school. I had to, like, draw them in for
Oh.
almost 6 months.
It's-
because she just was like,
Now, was that before or after your mom made you wax your back?
probably after, I think.
They were
My
coming at
mom
you
made me
from
wax
every
my entire back to go to
angle.
a water park where it then got infected because the water was gross.
No.
You ever do
Wait, they
anything
were
to your body
shaming
hair?
you?
Well, right now I have like a pretty strong unibrow, which I
Slay.
think that I used to use a Bic razor and shave directly down the middle. So I always had a very wide set
Oh.
brow. I did wax my back one time before going to New Orleans in 2019.
Did I have a part in like ever shaving your body?
Oh, you shaved my body a lot.
A
I
lot,
mean,
right?
as recently as like this summer.
I think that was how, yeah.
Because like my shoulders get really wispy, and I recently saw a picture where I was like, it looks like I have like angel wings of body hair, and then it just stops right there. So I had to.
Okay.
I said, Andrew, here's my trimmer. get to work.
Get to work.
You've done my neck. You've done my
I've done it
back.
all. I'll do anything.
My and my crack.
I'm waiting for it. Thank you so much.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. No, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever had anyone do my shoulders, but my shoulder hair, like it all just kind of connects.
Yeah, I get it for like the
Shoulder back
wispy.
down.
Yeah.
I think when it's like when it's like, what did you in gym class? You wear those like they called pennies.
Yes.
penny.
When your hair pattern is that,
I need
cover the
that.
front over the shoulders.
I haven't
haven't
gotten
gotten
to
that.
like the mid back yet.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well,
I
you don't
need
want it.
I really
think
do
so.
want it. I want to be so hairy. That's
Yeah.
my goal.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Throw a little Latisse on it.
I've considered it. I've considered it.
A
Of
Latisse
course.
bath.
I used to do that to my beard.
Ooh.
Let's talk about autumn in New York.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
love.
Autumn in New York.
Fool.
Are you singing?
Fall.
Are you singing?
I was going to, but I'm done.
Okay. Fall.
Fall.
What are like quintessential things about autumn in New York? What are things that you think about?
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I would say September season, that's apple picking. You're
Which is
apple
hell.
Oh,
picking.
yeah, you take the train
Sure.
up north.
Or you go to
Visiting.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's
And
always
that's
Long
that
Island.
It's like
Miss
across.
Ma'am.
It could always be someone says a place and you're like, or you
Or
could
Long
just
Island.
go to
Go to
Long
Long
Island.
What-
Wineries, go to Long Island.
How do you get to Long Island from here?
Long Island Railroad.
I
Well,
came there.
LIRR, honey.
I was on Long Island today. I'm dog sitting for my parents. I commuted
Yeah.
here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was hell.
So
It
brave.
was hell.
No.
No, it was fine. I took one train. It was really
Oh.
easy. It was like 45 minutes total.
Yeah.
I
But
gotta
I
say,
was complaining.
I recently took a train from, was it Philly? No, somewhere. Philly, I think. And I came into New York from there and I was like, oh, I should always just take the train. It was so nice.
Yeah,
I love a
it's a lot better
train.
than the airports. So
It's quick and easy.
easy to get to Long
Get
Island.
there,
Easy.
go apple picking. Again, September is the picking season.
But
and
you go
then-
apple picking and it's literally, it's not fun in the slightest.
it's
There's
not.
no, it's
No.
like for an
No, apple picking
Instagram.
It depends on your mindset.
Yeah,
But
okay.
yes, it is. It's not fun.
This is the
Drag
conflict.
her.
Yeah, drag.
What would you have fun with? You go, you like pull an apple off of a tree. It's
Because, like,
85 degrees and you're
It's
wearing
cute.
like a flannel.
You're like, oh, it's fall. I'm
Me
gonna
and my
like,
friends
pick a
were
little
drunk.
Well,
when we
that's
did it.
different.
We
Yeah.
would like get the apple cider and then like drink
Yeah.
it on the train up and then drink it
Yeah.
on the way back.
that would be cute.
You go for like the apple
It's the
pie
same
or
with
the
the
whatever.
pumpkin picking where it's like you're only there for the apple cider donut.
Yeah.
And to
Right.
be drunk in public.
Right. I was like the tool they give you for apple picking.
Yes.
Oh.
Because I'm like, now I feel like I'm getting something
Right.
done.
You feel accomplished. October is pumpkin picking season.
Okay, right.
And then what else are we doing in fall?
I don't know. On Long Island,
Yeah.
it really comes down to those two things. It's a lot of rural, like Long Island's like a red state, which I don't know if you're familiar with that about it. It's gone full red.
Oh, I didn't
Really?
know
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
like if you were to take Alabama and put it in the north, that would
Stop.
be Long Island.
It's
yeah.
really
Oh.
crazy.
Yeah.
So it's farms,
Well,
it's like
is it
Trump brigades.
Because of is there a lot of money out on Long Island?
There's a
think
good
parts of
amount.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, parts of it for sure. But
Okay.
even in the parts that aren't a lot of money, that's almost it's
Well,
They've been
really
in
worth it.
Same with
bold
Alabama.
and-
There's not
Yeah.
a lot of money there. either.
Right.
And that's why I
But
can
that's
get
the
my
other,
eyebrows
that's
done.
the other experience in fall.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
It's just the
Wow,
truth.
that is
yeah.
wild. I never even. I just have no frame of reference for Long
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
really
sorry to do
interesting
that
place.
to you. You could have just kept living your whole life not knowing.
No,
Now
it's good
you
to be
do.
informed.
We're
Yeah,
We like
now I
lecturing
know.
you.
Not
We like
to go,
facts
but if I
here.
do, quick train ride.
All right, we're
train.
gonna take a break. We'll be right
Already?
back. Yeah.
And we're back. Hit the sleigh button.
Let's talk about your podcast.
Okay.
So you two are lifelong friends.
Yes.
And then what prompted you to start a podcast together?
I feel like there were a few things.
One was a gas leak that we had for a year and a half.
Because it made you go crazy?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not.
Wait,
like,
wait,
not a joke.
What?
No, like we were literally living with a gas leak for a year and a half and going insane, like delusion. We were really delusional, and like we still are very delusional.
I think that's a side effect of the gas leak.
yeah, and like
But it-
headaches. Like
We
I was-
moved
I
into
was
our
clocked.
apartment. We moved into our apartment in Williamsburg, and the first day we were like, "It smells like gas in here." And rather than like call someone, we were like, "I guess it just does that. Like, I guess it just smells like gas." So every
How old were you?
25.
We were 25 at the time.
We were
That's
old.
okay. That's no.
Well,
No, that's understandable. First apartment away.
Yeah.
Not yours,
Not
my
mine.
first.
It was the first time smelling gas in an apartment, so yeah.
And then every day at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock p.m., it would smell like gas. And we were like, that's just what it does. Like, we'd have friends over. Like,
they
people
would
be
sleep
like,
over. They were like, that's the best sleep of my entire life. Like, yeah.
I'm losing my
Should
mind.
they express
This is
concern?
insane.
Yeah.
If they were worried, we were like, no, that just is how the apartment smells. Like, it just smells like gas. And then I think one day we made I think it was right before the podcast. We like made a web series, entered like the craziest state of delusion we've ever entered.
I was like, I'm gonna be so famous. Like, I
In a
can't. I
month.
have to
Like,
like
it was
say bye to my friends.
Yeah, it was scary what was happening. We were like doing shrooms, locked in this space in the winter, gas smell. And then
Put
I
out
think
the web series and
we put,
Nothing happened.
Nothing
nothing
happened.
happened at all.
Nothing happened. So that was a tough.
I think that was the moment we were like, we should blame that whole thing on the gas
Yeah.
leak. Lo and behold, the next logical step from web series was podcast.
I think also like part of the podcast thing was like we did like again gas leak delusion. I was watching an inner child healing meditation, and I was like closing my eyes. I'm not a crier.
We're
but, like,
sitting next to each other in silence on our couch. This is on the TV.
so I'm like listening. I'm like sobbing. It's like, okay, look at your child when you're 10 years old. Like, what did you want? And now I'm like, I was working in sales. I went to school for finance. Like, I was definitely like a little bit lost. And I was like, oh my God, like I always wanted to entertain people. Like, I love to make people laugh. Like, whatever. We always wanted to be in front of the camera. And then like we ended the healing, and I was like, Joe, what the are we doing?
I
Like,
also remember
you
you looking
kidding
at
me?
me. You looked at me. You were hysterically crying, and you were like, I just saw American Idol. I just saw myself watching American Idol as a child. And I was like,
Well,
I'm usually the one that leans into that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was just sitting here waiting for you to be done. Like, I didn't know what was happening.
so
But
I
it
love your
pushed
blind
us.
support.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were
great.
like, let's do it. We have all this archival footage, and then we were like, let's just put it into the podcast, and then
The rest is history.
the rest is history.
wow.
That's incredible.
So I want to know what happened with the gas leak.
Yeah,
So
I'm
did you
still trying to figure out. Did you get it
sue
fixed,
and
or
move
did you
out?
move
What
out,
happened?
or-
I was
Well-
like, we might get rent for free. This is a really big deal. I like wrote to the landlord, and they were like, how can you possibly blame us for this? Like, you never once filed a complaint about. How would we know that there was a gas leak in your
Because
apartment?
the thing is about like a Brooklyn apartment or a Williamsburg apartment or
You're
whatever.
gonna get
It's
a
like
smell.
they're gonna charge you up the for an apartment that's just like a facade of like horrible working items. So like the dishwasher didn't work, like
Right.
the ceiling would leak, all the different things, and you're paying top dollar for it.
Yeah.
And like the gas leak was a part of it. So we wrote this email of all of the things that didn't work, and we put the gas leak in there, and they were like, okay, well, you literally should have told us when you smelt the gas. Then someone came in, and you know what they did? They put tape over it.
and it was fine.
Tape. That's all you needed.
That's
more you
horrifying.
know.
I would
Yeah.
have moved out and lit a lot of candles on my way out the door.
Yeah. Blown it up.
Yeah, get out of there.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So
So, sorry.
Do you ever miss that little kind of buzzy feeling you felt at the apartment?
Every day of my life.
every day,
Yeah,
it was like perfect
great.
I
tie.
am still so. You guys were poisoning yourselves. And you were
Yeah.
like, comedy, baby.
We're like, we're meant for this.
I guess it did. What were you doing, Joe, before? Like, were you working
I've always
in-
done like video production, so
Okay.
I was doing like
Okay.
freelance video production.
behind the camera.
Yes, yeah. I was
Well-
doing some TikToks, but I wasn't like happy about it. I was like trying.
you doing
it.
that?
No, I was doing like Abigail Williams from the Crucible drag a little bit. Like I was like putting on a wig and just talking to the camera, and that worked. But then I like had a meltdown about it, and then took 2 years off.
I love that you were like, it worked, but I wasn't happy about it.
You know, that's me. That's how it happens. I need to be tortured about everything I do.
Same.
So I was like,
Absolute
oh,
same.
God, it's like this isn't meant for me.
And so for people at home listening who haven't heard the podcast, like obviously your lifelong relationship plays into it so much.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you need to protect something about your relationship and like not talk about that on the podcast? Because it really feels so intimate listening
Yeah,
to you
and
guys
you're like
talk.
sharing videos. Every time I see a new TikTok or like watch one of the episodes, you're putting up videos that like I would hide from the world.
Yes.
And you're just open like, this is me being a weirdo in front of a camera at 9 years old.
I mean, I think part of that, like, that's always confused me because I'm like, what do I have to hide? Like I've been a freak. Like I made Hunger Games video parodies at 15. Like my only friend was Andrew. I was like in my parents' basement with a green screen and wigs, like doing videos for nobody. But I'm like, that's so funny now.
I love that.
Like now it's like whatever.
Now
You put it
it's-
out
oh,
there.
I
and
got
you
a
feel
lot
like
of
the
that
shame.
video footage.
like that, like, and then I get comments. People are like, I would have to be dead before someone saw this. I'm like, I'm getting in the comments. Like, people are watching this. Like, at least, like, as long as you can monetize it, do it.
Yeah, and
But
it's like
everything.
actively releasing shame. You're like
Yes.
putting it out there, and you're like, okay, it's out there. I don't give a.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you
Make
gonna
fun
do?
of me?
Literally,
I'm already doing
sure.
it.
Exactly.
I think your hesitancy comes from like true evil that you have buried inside of you
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
it
don't
won't
want
come
people
out.
to know about.
Yeah. She'll come out. That monster is.
You said, break a little hole in that gas pipe.
You're gonna see some demons. So you guys have been friends since childhood. You like
Four.
made content together when you were just growing up the whole
And that's what we
time.
called it back then. Content.
Content. Yeah, what did you call it? Playing around, playing
Make
games.
videos with my friends.
Making movies.
Joe was always the director.
Home
You
movies.
want to make a movie?
I
I
made
have
I
tons
made
of
the
those.
same horror film with my friend down the block 17 times. We called it Psycho before we knew a horror film called Psycho existed.
Wait, you're a
And I remember
visionary.
like getting
Don't give
mad.
him that.
We
A
were
visionary.
like,
They
what?
stole this
Someone
from us.
already made Psycho. They
How
stole
dare
this.
they?
from
Called
us.
it Big Fat Liar.
Yeah, and it was always the opening sequence was always based around this one Korn song that like had the perfect.
How does it go?
Were you a Korn fan?
I wasn't a Korn fan.
okay.
No.
I wish
it
you
wasn't
said
one of their
yes.
hits.
I was like, yeah. I wish
Yeah, I
you
know.
were.
It wasn't one of their hits. It was sort of like a B-side record, and I only remember the beginning because we would always like time out the beginning of like the Frankenstein monster awaking to that Korn song. But you could just
I
like
made-
remake those home movies
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah.
We're gonna do it better this time because also you couldn't. We weren't editing. This
So
was
you were like editing by
pre that.
recording
Yeah.
and stopping and
Yeah.
recording and
Bro,
stopping.
we used to like because we needed like the morning for a shot.
Uh-huh.
We would film and leave 30 seconds open on the VHS tape, rewind it back,
gosh,
and like
VS.
fill
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I'm a little older. We did.
Listen,
this
I had a
over the
VHS
corner.
tape
Okay,
at one
but it was
point.
vintage for you.
At
Yeah,
one point.
it was chic.
Yeah.
It was in 2021, actually. No, yeah, I think that we used to edit. I mean, I used to edit, but I was using like Windows Movie Maker.
Yes.
That was the big one. So I lost a lot of to that. I was thinking about that yesterday. But we would like I have like 5 different folders. Thankfully, everything was digitally archived, which is like my dad works in
Wow.
IT. So he was
Oh.
like, upload your computer every year. So I have like literally my homework assignments from 2nd grade, like on my
Do you have
computer.
your old porn search history?
No, I wish. I
my
wish.
God.
I needed to know what I was
literally
into.
would love to know. That'd be my dream to have that access.
There is some old website that I used to go to all the time, and I can't even remember. I feel like I had the word cave in it. Talk about shame. Get ready.
yeah, I'm like, let's get
Um,
out there.
But like it was like, you know, no videos. It was like, again, I'm
JPEG.
older, but it was like JPEGs and they would like load sort of one bar at a time.
I love that.
And my parents, we're not really a computer literate family. And so we would sort of bounce between like Macs and PCs. And I remember we bought a gateway computer and it had something called like time capsule. So like if you were to something up, you could like reset the computer to like 7 a.m. the night before.
Oh,
I ran that
no.
motherfucking time capsule into the ground because I was like, yeah, I could delete the search history, but bitch, I'm gonna set the computer back in time. Like this is Michael J. Fox. What's that movie called?
Back to the
the
future.
future.
Thank
Back to
you.
the
And so
Future.
I remember searching on this like, you know, decrepit, like just like it was just like an online photo library full of just like gross porn pictures.
I still do that. I still look for those like
Pics?
really old. Sometimes if I'm,
yeah,
if I'm
there's
in the
sometimes
mood.
like a video that'll pop into my head for like that changed my life back then when I was turning out to it, and I'm
The
like,
pumpkin.
no, not pumpkin. But I'm like,
I-
how can
yeah.
I get back to that specific video?
It's hard.
It's very
But there's
hard.
hard
like
to find.
joy in the chase, you know.
Yeah.
I love like the slow loading, like going on what is that like Wayback Machine?
Oh yes.
And finding porn that way. It's great.
I
Okay.
should do
Vintage.
that for the do they still have all the Tumblr on there?
Yeah, which is so scary.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What were y'all up to? Anything weird on Tumblr?
Oh
Joe,
my
well,
God! Yeah,
ask
of course.
Joe.
Every day of my life, I was on Tumblr
Yeah,
24.
he
That
was-
Tumblr was like my best friend, and then Andrew was like tertiary to that.
Yeah, for sure. Joe would like fill me in on the Tumblr gossip or whatever. I would
Yeah.
meet Joe's Tumblr friends. I was not.
I was
active
Skyping
online.
with like 35-year-olds at like 17, like
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about.
who didn't?
But I was like,
Who did?
and it was like, oh my god, like Peter Millark is so hot. Like I'm Team Gail. Like talking about the
Use
Hunger Games with them.
Oh, see, I am
Tumblr.
still older than both of them because I was like, Hunger Games meant nothing to me at that time.
Yeah, same.
What year were you born?
In 1989.
Such a long
1989.
pause.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I was like 1989. I'm
Okay.
34.
Okay.
We'll bleep that out. Morgan, don't post that. Do you all read the comments on your videos and stuff? Do you care? Do you go in?
I do.
Joe really does. Yeah.
Does it?
I have no
hurt
choice.
you?
It's community management. Like I feel like I have to, and every day I have a mental breakdown. Every day of my life.
I had to stop. I literally had to stop and go to therapy because I was like, I cannot.
Yeah.
I am not supposed to be seen by this many people and have this many opinions thrown
I
at me.
screenshot them and text them to her a lot about me.
That's
That
so
mean
Joe. No, Joe
The
does
mean
it
one's
about
about
me.
him. Yeah.
Oh, he sends
Joe
them
will be
to
like,
you.
no.
You're
I've
violent.
I've never
That's
done
violent.
that. If it was specifically about you, I wouldn't. But if it was about, like, you know, we've gotten comments being like, you guys were born in '96, like white gays age like milk. I'm gonna send it to both of
Yeah,
us.
you're
We
right.
both need to see that.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
true,
address
that's
the
true.
issue. We
Yeah.
like got better skincare routines.
We
Like
did.
those are constructive
Okay.
criticism.
Okay.
We
that
love
I
constructive
enjoy.
feedback.
It is shitty when like you read a bunch of shitty, awful comments, and then there's one person who's like, they're not being outright mean, but they like have a point, and then you're like,
Yeah.
ew, gross. I guess we should talk about that, or like consider that, or like somewhere back in the back of your head, you've been thinking that too, and you're like, ugh, I guess we should update the format of like this segment
Oh,
or
it
something.
pisses me off
I
so
hate it
much.
Oh,
we got
that
like
makes me so mad.
because you're like, well, you're right.
yeah, I know. Well,
When they're
sometimes they're
right.
right, but for the most part, you're usually wrong or racist.
Yeah, well,
we
I
got,
guess we don't get that over here for you two Jews.
no, we
Am I
haven't
right?
faced racism
we
issues.
We have it.
We no, like not yesterday, but we did get a comment recently. We eat food every episode,
Yeah.
and like everyone is notoriously disgusted by it.
yeah, we used to do
We
it.
used to do it,
and
we
we
had to
stopped.
stop.
That's what's they're forcing it out of us. Like someone gave us a 2-star review the other day and was like, "You guys are like cringe. Like this is disgusting. Stop eating food in this podcast." And I was like, "Well, you're right. Like I know you're right, and I hear it, but I'm like, no, I want to keep eating
Just
the
skip
food."
ahead.
eat.
Hey,
That's
guess
one of our
what?
favorite
Skip
things.
ahead.
Skip 30
If you don't like it,
seconds.
skip ahead.
Food is our brand. Like,
Yeah,
shut
we're
Yeah.
up.
trying to get a
That's
brand
how we
deal.
felt.
At some
We're
We-
trying to
point.
get brand deals.
We're trying to
We
make money
fa-
from it. That's the goal.
That is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
We would eat every episode, call it snack break.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be us chewing, but it would be like local bakeries and stuff.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Donut Friend gave us all those free donuts.
Ours is
Sure.
like Pop-Tarts sometimes, but otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah,
same
well,
vision.
yeah.
You guys
What
were a
were
little
you
bit
eating?
classier with
You guys
it.
were eating a cookie. I feel like it was like last week or a couple weeks ago.
Oh, was it the Bucknuts? It was
yes.
the one that we created.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
See, and now they created a cookie. That could be us.
I know.
That
We
could
created
be
our own cookie. We put it out there. And we
the
had a
Hungry Gnome Bakery.
Hungry Gnome. It was great.
Highly recommend.
Hit the slay button.
It was a monstrosity of a cookie though. It
What was
Yeah.
it?
Tell us.
It was a like dark chocolate brookie, so a brownie cookie,
Yeah.
and then
Okay,
it
I'm
was
in.
stuffed with a jelly ring and peanut butter, and then
Yum.
drizzled
I'm in.
with peanut butter.
and it was like about the size of my fist, like
Yeah.
that big.
It was inspired off of our favorite like Italian ice from Ralph's, which is a very Long Island.
Long
thing.
Island.
How do you?
Ralph's the grocery store?
No, Ralph's Italian ice.
ices.
Oh.
Wait, did you guys move to LA and then come back?
No,
No,
we took
we-
a trip.
We took a trip for a month because we were on tour,
Got
and
it.
then we were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna stay there for a month," and we stayed in Silver Lake and bopped around.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it,
Oh,
got
and
it,
that's
got
when I
it.
ran into you at Off Sunset.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Oh,
Which was an amazing experience.
I was
Yeah.
literally shroomed out of my
Oh,
mind.
yeah.
I was like,
Wait, this last one where I met you
yeah,
up at
because
the
they
pool?
also came to Fat
Yeah.
Slut.
Yes.
Oh, incredible!
Yeah.
I was drunk that.
I mean,
Off
they make 'em
Sunset
what
so
was the
wrong
drink?
there.
What was the drink? The beatbox.
Off Sunset, we were drinking beatboxes, and that was really scary.
Oh yeah, they'll
We
get
were like
ya.
song of the not song.
Drink
Drink of the summer. And we never had another one.
We went to that. If it's not clear, like me and Andrew's relationship to gay spaces is always evolving, and we're slowly making our way into them and like feeling like confident in ourselves.
Okay.
I think that Off Sunset was one of those, like, it was an introductory experience for us. And it was like us and our friend Garrett, who's same wavelength. We all show up like wearing identical like black tank top, black shorts, like jock strap. By the end of the experience, I think right after we saw you, Andrew was approached by someone and asked if he wanted to peg.
Which I was like, wait, what?
Now, who goes into who?
Well,
That's why I was asking. I was like, peg, do you mean like you want me to you? Like, I'm like just confused as to like what the pegging is happening here. And they were like, no, like we want you to throw. It was like the water balloon, the rugby team that was like, throw water balloons at them.
Watching Andrew overhand throw a water balloon at a bear with no confidence at all.
Wait, why no confidence?
It's just like, okay, this is what happens. They ask me, do you want to peg? They literally walk up to me. It was the group of the three of us. Do you want to peg one of our players? Joe and my friend Garrett, like, actually, I feel like you took 2 steps back. They disappear. So now I'm like, yeah, I want to peg. I'll give you $5 to whatever. So then he's like, choose a guy. So I'm like, I just feel like this is wrong. But anyways, I'm going to choose you. And he was like, do you want me forward, back, whatever? And I'm like, you could turn around. I'm like, just whatever. I go to throw the balloon. I throw the balloon. It doesn't pop. It bounces off of his back, bounces on the ground, and just doesn't pop.
And everyone's like, ooh.
Oh. And I'm like, okay, so if I wasn't sick before this, I'm absolutely sick now. And then I had my, redeeming throw, and it was great.
And then you walked around with your ass out for like the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think that was the confidence that I needed. That was like my ass is out.
Yeah.
So like, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you getting that ass out. I will tell you, I did the same thing. They had me peg someone too. Same experience, picked them. None of my balloons popped. I was whipping them at this guy.
Really?
Hard as rock. They didn't put enough
not
water
alone.
in the balloons to pop.
Okay.
So the guy kept on being like, that hurts. And I was like, I literally paid for this. Shut up.
Shut up. It should hurt.
Okay,
that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah. I feel like if I paid for it and he volunteered to do it, he has to shut up and take it.
We'll be right back.